Was there you? I think we're on.
Yeah.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Good evening. It is the evening of, I believe it's Sunday, November the 28th, 2010. I'm sitting here in my lovely, I call it the cottage here, off the lovely green shore of the west bank of the Prince Edward Island, little town of Summerside. And hello, kids. I'm recording this as it really is a test of my camera, which has a video function. So I apologize if the quality is weak. However, it was a very cold day today, and we had a beautiful sun, and we had a great snowfall last night, about 5-6 centimeters. For those people in the States, that's 3 or 4 inches maybe. And I went out by myself and took some pictures, which I did put on Facebook. Did some four-wheel driving with the old truck, which is working quite well. Anyway, that's about it for now. I did get Alexis, I did hear from you. Thank you for the message. And son, if you're doing well, I think you were, and I appreciate the call and the conversation. But anyway, my friend who's holding the camera wanted to actually ask me a few questions. So I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to answer them, but he wants to use them as a test of this tape. So go ahead.
Oh, you just say what you want to say. I bet ladies picked up.
Ladies?
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
I've had 2 marriages, and probably of the 2, there's probably been maybe 3 women beyond the 2 marriages that I would say I was truly in love with in my life. Everybody knows about my first relationship in high school with a girl named Carol. We grew up together, and we were best friends, and we played with the Mustangs and did the car shows and built the cars, sold the parts, and I was in university at the time, and we used to go street racing and burn the rubber and build engines, and she was quite the girl. Miss her very much. And that didn't last, and then later, of course, I became a professional, went to university. I met a lady named Rhonda, who is the mother of my children in Pennsylvania. Wonderful lady. And we met under strange circumstances. I used to work out near where I was working. We'd go out to the gym and work out, then go have a couple beers at a little club called Alfalfa's near Norristown, Pennsylvania. And I went in there one night with my buddy Phil, and we were sitting at the table, and then this big, tall, good-looking girl comes in, driving an Audi Turbo, dressed to the nines. Hello, I'm Joe. How are you? So she offered to buy us dinner. She said she was waiting for somebody. Anyway, I chased her out of the place. I said, I must have your phone number. And she was really resistant. I kind of actually chased her into her car. And but I said, look, here's mine. You call me if you want to talk. About 2 weeks later, I get a call from this girl, and she goes, hey, you want to hang out? I said, yeah, let's go to the movie and have a meal. And we went to see the movie Ghostbusters. And about 6 months later, we got married, and I went off to do my thing, and we started a business later, made all kinds of money, and had 2 kids. But anyway, it didn't work out all that well, and then I ended up hiring people to work in my household. And my second wife is Michelle. She comes from a small town in Colorado called Fort Morgan. That's where she was born. But when she came to me as nanny number 10, I'm guessing at the number, but I fell in love with her. She first got off the plane, I fell in love with the girl, and my son loved her. My daughter wasn't born yet, so we didn't have a relationship. We were just good friends. So she left, I went off to do my thing at the big house in Highland, Maryland, near Washington. And anyway, we all missed Shell. Joey sure did as a baby, so we invited her back. So she had working for a federal marshal out in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I brought her back, and she stayed with us. And about 3 or 4 months later, the world started to collapse. I took her on a trip to Hawaii with me, and I was out there on business and with the kids, and we started to hang out more and more. So I decided that I'd rather be with her than my wife. Sorry, it's a horrible thing, but it happened. I'm not proud of it. I was very young and very stupid. And so I got divorced from that wife, married Michelle, the nanny, now the wife, and worked in Arizona. I moved to Arizona, worked at a facility called Yuma Proving Grounds, Army base, and at the end, anyway. I'm leaving out a lot because this is a short tape. But anyway, at that point, we had trouble, and around 2004, I had trouble. Shell took off on me and come up here to Prince Edward Island, and I was pretty upset, suffering a lot from various problems. I went back to stay with the kids and my first wife, and I stayed there almost a year. Shell calls me on the phone and says, "Hey, you want to come up be my roommate? I'm out of money." I'd been paying for everything anyway all this time. So I said, "Sure, I'll come up to the island again." We've been vacationing up here for years anyway, here in Cape Breton. So I come up and I move in with my wife. She's still my wife. So we fight and tooth and nail, and I meet other girls and other people, like the cameraman here. And sooner or later, we end up breaking up. She meets a guy named Paul, takes off of me. I go back and forth a number of times. I lose 2 or 3 fortunes in the process. And here I sit in my little cottage / barracks style 3-unit apartment right on the beach here. And the lighthouse is blinking at sunset here. But I don't know where my wife Michelle is. We got divorced in January of this year, 2010. I was in hospital at the time. I almost died. I spent 6 weeks in hospital and rehab. Nobody really knows why, but I couldn't walk or move, breathe, so it wasn't good. So I remain on Prince Edward Island with these fine people, and we're planning on having a nice Christmas. But I appreciate your interest, and I'm going to attempt to upload this onto my laptop and see if I can actually publish this on YouTube as a general video of being here on Prince Edward Island with Joe Manduke, which some people may or may not be interested in. Thank you all. I love you all very much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
So we just click